My name is Jürgen Hansen. I'm a documentary director, and I'm here because my space documentary Zero Gravity Mission in Space about the space mission of German astronaut Alexander Gerst and NASA astronaut Reed Wiseman is shown here. The idea started with a previous documentary project I did about the preparation of Alexander Gerst for his mission, and that was in 2011. I was looking for a 3D documentary project which I could propose to German public television Arte, and there I read that the European Space Agency ESA had a 3D camera on board of the ISS, and so I asked them, and we were given authorization, and then we did the first project, and that followed afterwards as a second project, then not in 3D, but then this was the second part, the actual mission then of Alexander Gerst. I started in 2011 with the first 3D project, then this documentary here in 2014, and this kind of, then I was approached by a French production company because there was a French astronaut, Thomas Pesquet, and they wanted to do a documentary about that, and they knew that I had really good contacts at NASA, ESA, and also at the Russian space agency Roscosmos, and so we developed together a multi-format project. So this kind of went one after the other, but after the recent project about the French astronauts, I changed a little bit the subject because it's also a lot of work dealing with these huge bureaucracies in the US, in Russia, and here in Europe. So I was happy to do a totally different subject afterwards. On one hand, most of filming takes place in outer space, so you will not take part at most of the filming. As a documentary director, that's already a huge challenge because you cannot control anything. You can give the astronauts a list what they should film, but then also, even if they would like to do it, often they cannot film because mission-related things come in, and so that means they have only the limited time in the evening, maybe 1 hour, and then on Sunday, but also Sundays mission-related stuff can come up and they cannot film. And then the second big issue is these are huge bureaucracies. It costs enormous amount of money, and it's really politics also. So that means if you are filming there, they don't wait for you till you have set up, or if you screwed up, they don't repeat things. You have to get it on the first take, and that's not very easy. So basically the conditions are as if you are doing news reports, but you are trying to pull off a huge documentary. And then politics is an issue because we encountered in 2014 with this project with Alexander, not so much, but then with the French astronaut afterwards, we encountered problems with the Russians because the relationship between Russia and the US had deteriorated after the Ukraine and Crimea, and so the Russians were restricting the time we had for filming drastically, so that sometimes we only had 10 minutes to do the filming. And with the Alexander Gerst project, we had 2, 3, 4 hours and were free to interrupt the training and ask if they could do some things again. So that's something which makes this kind of documentaries challenging. And then, of course, the whole footage which they are filming in space has to go through a whole process of authorization. That means if there is an American astronaut in the picture, NASA has to give its approval. If there's a Russian in the picture, Roscosmos has to give its approval, and that can take months. And so if you are under a deadline pressure, this makes life tough.